Hey, everybody. I am Nikki. I am owner of Adornable Permanent Jewelry and Countess, where I focus on wholesale and client first business consulting. In less than 2 years, I built a successful permanent jewelry and ear piercing business, and I scaled that experience into a wholesale brand by staying deeply customer centered, which I think is the only way to stay in business. So, today I want to answer one of the most common questions that I see from new permanent jewelry business owners, which is how many chain options should you actually offer when you're first starting out? Starting a permanent jewelry business is not a small investment. The welder alone can cost $2,000 or more dollars, your tools. There's so much that goes into it. Not to mention, if you're doing pop ups, you need your items for your displays, your table, your signage, your business cards, your point of sale. There's a lot that goes into it. And one of the most expensive things that you're going to invest in is your chains and charms. And so we can talk about charms a different day. Many permanent jewelry artists don't start out with charms at all, or they might have a basic selection, and I'll cover that in another video. But as far as the chains themselves, wow, curating chains is one of the most fun parts of owning a jewelry business. There are so many beautiful options that you and your customers are going to fall in love with, and it is so easy to invest. The mistake I made is I bought a starter pack of chains, and then what I got, guys, I'm over 2 years into my business and I still have some of those chains sitting there because they were either something that I wasn't comfortable on putting on my customers or something that my customers didn't love. So I'm here to just solve this riddle for you and answer the question for you. When you are starting out, it's so tempting to offer a ton of chain options because you don't want to miss a sale. And so as you're going through chain options, you're going to say to yourself, like, oh my gosh, well, I might want to get this one for this kind of customer, this one for this kind of customer. And I talk a lot in my videos about ideal customer avatar, which is basically just who is your ideal customer, because you should be catering all of your stuff to them. Now, with permanent jewelry, there's a million possibilities, but you really need to know your ideal customer. Anyway, all that to say, there are a few, I would say, like universal chain options that fit most audiences. So I don't ever want you to have that fear of not having the right chain or pressure from seeing other permanent jewelry businesses with huge displays. To be honest with you, huge displays oftentimes deter people because there are just too many options. And I also don't want you to be overspending on inventory when you're so early in your business, because you need to be really mindful about proving demand before you spend all your money on something. So, let's reframe this really quick. Your goal at the beginning is not variety, it is clarity and testing demand with your customers. Too many options is going to overwhelm your customers. I'm sure that you've seen it, and if you haven't, I've seen a million permanent jewelry displays where they have over 100 options and they're hanging there, and honestly, it's just confusing. It's overwhelming for the customer. I remember early on in my business, I met with a marketing consultant, just an expert. I mean, he does marketing for major brands throughout the US and internationally. And he asked me, what is the biggest pain point for your customers? Easy. It was picking the chain. And guys, at this time, I probably had 15 chain options. So, like I said, don't feel like you need to have every chain that's available. So, all right, the sweet spot. When you're first starting, I recommend having 3 to 5 chains per metal type. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Most of you are going to be offering sterling silver and 14 karat gold fill. So, not gold plated. You don't want to use that for permanent jewelry. There are some of you that are going to want to start out offering solid gold, and that's okay. That's okay. I wouldn't do it and I didn't do it, but some people have great success with it. I'll tell you where my hesitation came in is the price of gold is insane. And when you first start, you're going to make some mistakes. Um yeah, and you're going to lose some chain because of it. Or you may potentially have bracelets that fall off of people and you want to replace them because, again, customer service. So, just especially at the beginning, it was not a risk that I was willing to take on. The other option for you is many of you may choose, just kind of depending on your audience, your ideal customer avatar. If you're looking for something at a lower price point, you may choose to go stainless steel, and that's totally okay. I if it was me, again, just thinking about like how I invest my money to start, I would not offer both. I would not offer stainless steel and sterling silver and gold fill unless you have a whole lot of money to start with. But again, I don't know. I just really feel strongly that you need to identify who your ideal customer is. If your ideal customer is broke college students, stainless steel may be a great option. If your ideal customer is upper middle class women with teenage daughters, it may be sterling silver and 14 karat gold fill. No matter what your option, though, your chain styles are still pretty similar. So, what I mean by that is have 3 to 5 options in a silver color and a gold color, whether that be like your plated sterling, I'm sorry, your your sterling silver 14 karat gold fill, or your silver colored stainless steel, or your gold plated stainless steel. Either way, I would have silver and gold. To be totally honest with you, I would not start offering rose gold at first. Rose gold, in my experience, is something that everybody says they love. Most people don't buy. So I think that as you kind of build things up and get a little bit more money and know the styles that your customers want, then you can start adding a few rose gold options. I would never carry too many, to be honest with you. As of right now, I have 4 rose gold options, and they almost never sell. So, okay, what does sell? What you want to do is you want to have enough variety without confusion. So you don't want to have too many similar styles or anything like that. You also want styles that you know you can work well with, because the last thing you want is to offer 4 different styles and one of them is really challenging to work with, and you struggle and you're sweating, because that's going to happen anyway, and your people can see you sweating. So at least get chain styles that are easy to fit the jump ring in. So chain styles that you can fit a 22 ideally, or a 24 gauge jump ring in. We don't need to be dealing with 26 gauge jump rings at the beginning or ever in most cases. That also allows you to create a cleaner, more confident selling experience for your customers. Each of the chain styles that you choose, they should be chosen intentionally. So you should have a delicate-ish everyday option. I have my feelings about how delicate chains should be because, again, this is fine jewelry that they're wearing every day in the water, in their life, long term. So you don't want something that's going to break too easily. You should have like a medium classic bestseller style, and then you can have like one slightly bolder or textured option. And then if you do offer gold and silver, oftentimes it's nice to kind of mirror styles across the metals when possible, because I have a lot of customers that come in, like for example, sisters, but one likes silver, one likes gold, but they still want to get matching bracelets, so they want the same style. Fewer options. And here's the other thing that you'll find is that many times people just want permanent jewelry. Like they just want the experience of permanent jewelry. So they'll buy what you've got. You don't need to have 1,000 different options. And again, I really believe deeply in putting the customer first and making it a seamless experience for them. So, kind of helping guide them in what styles match their lifestyle, their personal preferences, what looks good on them. Customers, they want guidance, not a catalog. And so fewer options is going to allow you to lead that conversation. Um, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to say confidently, like, this is our most popular everyday chain, instead of kind of listing specs of each chain. What you really want is confidence, and you're going to feel confidence when you know your chains well. All right. I want to just jump in with some styles that I recommend. So, hearts, I want to make sure that you can see this well. And I'm only showing you the options in gold right now just because that's what I have in front of me, but I would offer this in like a gold and a silver. Hearts are just classic across the board. They're always going to sell for you. Sometimes they're going to sell better than others. Like for me in February, probably because of Valentine's Day, hearts sell really well. But hearts are always going to sell. And they're easy as long as you get the right size heart. I want to say these are like 3.2 or something like that, the link size. They're just really easy. Okay, the next option that I recommend for you is to have some kind of paper clip. So oftentimes people will start out with this paper clip, like kind of the daintier paper clip, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it is a good option, but if your budget allows, I'm kind of loving the paper clip that's slightly thicker. And I'm going to just show you the difference again. Don't mind that my nails are painted two different colors. See that? It's a subtle difference, but in terms of durability and how long they wear long term, I find that the thicker one just holds up better. The thinner one, I don't have a lot of breakage with it, but I have a lot of like deformity, if that makes sense. The links get kind of bent out of shape. And then throw in a fun style. So some of the thicker ones may not be in your budget. I know they certainly were not in my budget right away, but here is a more budget-friendly option that I really like. So it's paperclip with little sunbursts on it. What I would stay away from if I was you is, man, these enamel colored chains, they are so tempting, and they can eventually, I'm not even going to say they're bestseller. For me, they're not bestsellers. Maybe in your market they might be bestsellers. These are not bestsellers for me. They sell, but I find, at least in my experience and for my ideal customer, they don't like to commit to something permanent when it has color on it. They'd prefer just a silver or a gold. And so I would just stay away from the enamel to begin with, but I would also just stay away from anything that has super tiny links like this. Now for this, you can use a 24 gauge jump ring. It's just not easy. It's not easy. And when you're starting, that's the last thing you want, is to like have to fuss with trying to squeeze the jump ring in the link. It's just a lot. So again, my recommendations for you would be to pick 3 to 5 styles and get them in both silver and gold. Hold off on the rose gold for now. Hold off on the colorful enamel chains for now. Hold off on chains with tiny links. Just stick with the wider, easier to use links. So if it was me, starting over again, I would do hearts. I would do some kind of paperclip chain. So either a daintier one or budget allowing the thicker one. Some kind of fun style in there. So either textured or thicker. And then maybe one or two other styles of your choosing. But again, just keep that criteria in mind. You want kind of links that are slightly on the bigger side so that they're just easier to work with. And then how much? Okay, so keep in mind, depending on how your display is, some people like to just use their rolls as the display. I've never loved that for myself. I have done it for like a few pop-ups, but I usually like actually cut out a sample size and then display my chains. So my sample size is like this. I do them 8 inches, and the reason why is because, especially at the beginning, there would be times when, so now I just carry a lot more inventory. So at any given time, I have anywhere between 10 and 20 feet, sometimes more of chain, but I had to build up to that. And I'm glad that I did, because the more that you get, the more price breaks you get. But I've been in business for 2 years now. I've served hundreds of clients, and so I've been able to test demand. When I'm first purchasing a chain, I never get that much chain. I don't. Oftentimes I'll start out with 5 feet just to test demand, because I'll tell you, even now, I have a couple chains. They're actually the colorful enamel ones that I got that I thought, oh, no brainer. People are going to love these. And they've been sitting there. I haven't sold a one, even when I offer them like on sale. So you want to test demand. Anyway, so all that to say, what I do is, if you can afford 5 feet, I would do 5 feet. Otherwise, I would do 3 feet. And you're going to cut out 8 inches of the chain so that you can use it if you run out of chain and a customer wants it. You're going to use 8 inches as your display. And again, I choose 8 inches because that's going to be enough to cover a bracelet for somebody. It may not be enough to cover an anklet, but at minimum, a bracelet. And then you have the rest to be able to do a few bracelets. So your average bracelet is probably going to be anywhere between 7 and 8 inches. So you'll get a few bracelets out of it, and that's at least enough to test demand, and you'll see what's selling out faster so that you can replenish those chains once you've tested demand and you're earning a little bit more money. Then you can start to order at higher volumes that are going to give you a discount. And I really say this like so lovingly, a lot of times it's very easy to look at the price breaks and say, oh man, but if I just order 10 feet of this chain, I'm going to get a price break. And you will, but it's not worth it to sit on inventory that's not selling when, again, you haven't tested the demand. Okay, so I hope that that's helpful for you as you're starting your permanent jewelry journey. Is 3 to 5 styles. Easy to work with chains, no colors to start with, 5 feet ideally if you can swing 5 feet with your budget, otherwise at least 3 feet. And then you want the same styles in silver and in gold. All right, I hope that's helpful for you. If you have any questions or you just want a little more personalized help, I do offer one-on-one consulting, and my focus is really customer first consulting. So the heart of my business and the heart of what I teach is creating an excellent customer experience for your people. And so if that aligns with you and you want some more individualized help to really help you in your business, I'm happy to do that for you. You can reach me at hello@shopcounis.com. That's SHOPKAUNIS. Otherwise, you can just go to shopcounis.com, and I'm excited to see you grow your business and shine.